What's up, everybody? Welcome to Krebs and Cars show, uh, episode 2. Uh, we would like to shoot out to everyone who uh, gave us feedback on the first episode, which one you can listen here. And yeah, the the people who actually gave us really good feedback, I would like to mention them, and that is DHL Cards, Iceman Cards, UK Baller Cards. I think he doing podcast as well. So thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate it. I think for first episode this is not bad. We had quite decent feedbacks. So thank you so much, guys. Make sure that you will subscribe and like the video, to help us expand to the more people will be much appreciated. And yeah, today in this episode we're going to talk about some cards drops, which one dropped last week. We're going to talk about some football, and we're going definitely talk about Supreme X Rolex, which one the leak come out yesterday, that Rolex's X Supreme will be finally dropping fall winter season 2022. So we should have as well preview of those. It was dropped by validate source, dropped by Jay. I think many of you might know him. He's supreme leaker. He's always accurate, around 95% accurate. I would like to say. So yeah, guys. With me are other guys from the team Krebs and Cards. So let's start show. So guys, would you tell me something about it? How you feel about that, what you think about this, and I will then after you tell my opinions on that.
Cool. Shall we start with the drop that you just mentioned, the Supreme and Rolex? Shall we start
Yeah,
with
we
that?
should.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could. Yeah,
Yeah.
go on.
I mean, this is always here for you guys that may have recognized my voice from the first one, but probably not. So, as we said in the first episode, we've all got areas of interest. My area of interest is probably cards more than sneakers. I know that watches, obviously, this is a watch drop, Rolex being the manufacturer. I've never actually been into heavily the watch culture or the Supreme culture, and I think the other guys on the podcast have, so they'll have a bit more of a informed view. I mean, for me, looking at the image that has been leaked, and I know that might not be the actual watch, but looking at it from a point of view of how that watch actually looks, um, I think the watch looks very, very good. I think Rolex is obviously a brand which speaks for itself. I think that Supreme has also developed a reputation which speaks for itself. And I think it's going to be something which is, hotly, hotly anticipated, hotly hyped. I think that it's going to be very, very difficult to get. And if we're talking, last week we were talking about collecting versus investing. I think looking at from an investing point of view is something that would definitely make sense because of the hype that will come with it, the fact that it will be limited, the fact that there are two massive brands coming together, I believe for the second time, and from an investment point of view, it makes sense, but also from an aesthetic point of view, is it, if I can't sell this on, if I buy this, will I be happy to wear it or hold it for 10, 15, 20 years? I think for me, it does tick that box as well. So that's what I would like. I think the reality is that it's going to be a multi-thousand-pound item. We're talking 10,000 plus. So the reality is, can I buy that? Can I buy it myself? Do we go for a group buy? I think the reality of that is, I can't buy it myself. If we can buy it together as a collective, from for an investment point of view, I would be very, very keen on this item.
Great. This thanks, Wais. This is Mustafis. Of course, this is a very uh, appealing item. I think if you look at the history of uh, Rolexes that have had um, co-branding with huge brands. They've done very, very well. So in the past, there's been the Tiffany Rolex watches. These sell for huge premiums, very sought after by collectors, very hard to obtain. And to be quite honest, I wasn't aware of the first drop for the Rolex Supreme um, watches. The fact that these exist, I was surprised to read about. But I can only see this being to the same level as the Tiffany the Tiffany edition watches. Very sought after, very collectible, very aesthetically pleasing. I mean, for me personally, a Rolex is something that I would like because I like the aesthetic of it. I like the. I think I have, to some extent, been sold by the branding, but I like what the brand have said about the product. And I wouldn't wear it in London. I don't think that would be a sensible thing to do. But I would like to wear it. Personally, I would like to wear it. And if you think about it from an investor point of view, it's only gonna, in my opinion, only gonna be a sought after and appreciating item. So it ticks many boxes for me. It fulfills my um, likes as a collector, and it also acts as an investment which can be utilized in the future should the case ever arise. So that's my view.
Hi, my name's Isma Fuz. Yeah, like Mustafa's mentioned, I only recently heard about this Rolex Supreme collection, and there was one before, and there's possibly dropping one soon. Personal point of view, I'm not huge on watches. I personally don't ever wear a watch ever since I had a Casio from school, which the battery died, so I've stopped wearing watches since. But I do appreciate, the elegance of Rolex and why people are after the product and why it's highly coveted and collected by people. I am into the Supreme brand. I do like some of the collaborations that they do. So a Supreme Rolex collaboration does sound great, and it would be a massive collection for a collector to have. But I do find I would probably think that when it does drop, it would be a very, very, very difficult item to purchase. And I just hope that some of the lucky few, maybe the some, like, if we can do a group purchase, it would be a lovely purchase to have. And yeah, I mean, that's my opinion on it. I think it's a fantastic product and something that we could hopefully get our hands on if possible when it does drop. Mikhail, do you have any opinions on the watch?
Yeah, of course I do. I do. Just guys, to tell you, so basically those dropped, but they dropped 2013, and it was just a friends and family drop, and that was a spring summer um, season. So yeah, after nearly 10 years, they finally dropping publicly, not just friends and family. So yeah, like I'm saying, I'm big fan of Supreme. I have many pieces, many t-shirts of them, and I like the brand, because I like skateboarding brand. I always used to wear when I was a kid skateboarding, clothes and like that. So I really appreciate Supreme. Even is not much that limited, but of course Supreme X Rolex is something which one everyone would like to put hands on. So yeah, I think the item is going to be probably roughly around 20 to 30,000. It depends of which one going to drop. I don't think that will be GMTs. Maybe I would be surprised, but maybe if they will make it wider release. We will see because they have quite a lot of stores, but like I think that's could be possible that we will see they just, you know, but will be very very difficult to buy. I think that this going to be online only because of riots. This piece actually will be uh, really sore after. So I think, in the investments point of view, I can't buy the item. I'm fan of it. Like I'm fan of Rolex. I appreciate it, but I'm not like when I was a kid, like 15, 16, I used to appreciate watch more, but now basically I just using Apple Watch because giving me everything, all my info, which one I need. So yeah, I think will be difficult because it's going to be online only. I think that it will be like this, or the another thing which one could be possible, that's will be appointments only. So basically you will just register on the line on the Monday, and you will see if you will hit the spot. But I think that this going to be extremely limited if will drop. So if the leak from Drop by J was accurate. So let's see. Like I said, we will see soon in preview season on the Supreme New York.com. And yeah, I'm looking forward for this season. I hope that they will bring some unique pieces as well. But yeah, Supreme Rolex, I think it's amazing. We have to appreciate that. And Mustaf, is you are Rolex fan. You would like to rock it. So tell me how you feel, because those looks really really cool. Like those looks, one of one looks, it's different. It's basically the rebellion Rolex piece.
I think there's nothing to lose here because even in the past, Bape have done like a Folex, if you like, which is quite popular, well sought after. This would be an actual Rolex, and I've mentioned previous co-branding done with Tiffany. There's been even watches that have been branded with the some of the Arabian royal families. So I think John Mayer has a well-known watch with one of the Gulf countries, and it's got the Gulf coat, that country's coat of arms on there. You know, these are fantastic pieces. Having the Rolex alone for me would be, is something to aspire to. I mean, it sounds very superficial and shallow, but this is the nature of the nature of the beast, if you like. It is something that is good, and the thing, well, it's something to aspire to and something that I would like. But I think at the back of my mind as well, I know, or I feel, as history has shown, these things appreciate in value. And I think this sort of ties into, we're primarily trainers and cards Instagram page, and we started talking about the PSG set last week. This item fits into the investment side of things that we were speaking about, and how it is to acquire these difficult sought after pieces. I don't know if Wes wants to jump in here and talk a bit more about that.
Yeah, I mean, from a sort of collecting point of view, I think there is a big crossover to some extent in terms of high end cards, high end watches, if you like, high end sneakers. The thing that I wanted to actually mention and get everybody's opinion on is, we've tried to buy each of those. So high end card box, high end sneaker. Um, so the sneaker drop which comes to mind is Louis Vuitton off white sneaker, and not high end but reasonable, hard to get Omega and Swatch collaboration. Wanted those. I think the watch, we could all say we would wear it. It's a £300 watch, so it's not a very very expensive watch. So there's a element of a collector user, end user type of relationship there. But when we go to the shop or when we look online and try and buy these things, it's very, very frustrating when you can't find it.
I've
So
been to the shop myself, maybe 4 or 5 times.
yeah, so I mean, I just want to get your guys' opinion on, how much of that hype is the actual, whether it's Rolex and Supreme, whether it's Omega, whether it's Tops. How happy are they at the fact that there are people there with the money ready, queuing up to buy the product, and they can't buy the product that it gets sold out? As I
Uh,
say, it's very, very frustrating for us. But I'm just thinking from a manufacturer point of view. What do you think that they're thinking about this?
uh, Wes, like you saying about the Omega, I think that you can comfortably buy them today. The hype died quick. They are available,
But
so you
but
can
still,
go on.
but I still think it's about
Y-
150, £200 more than retail.
It's
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't.
it's 100
It's
pounds
not.
more currently. Up,
Yeah, I mean,
any, just the black ones, But other
yeah,
than that,
yeah. I
you
mean,
can buy it. I think you will be
yeah.
comfortable.
I don't. Yeah, I get your point. It's not an obstructive amount of money, 100 to £200, but still, it's £100 more than retail. It wasn't available at retail, so just the principle of the fact that, and it's happened to Mahfouz. I was speaking about the trophy room collaboration with
Jordan brand.
the Jordan brand, and
Oh
trying to
yeah.
so like just that whether it's £100 extra or £5,000 as it is with some of the sneakers, and with a watch it's probably going to be £20,000 more retail. Like as a primary buyer, obviously everybody wants to buy it first for retail. So like how much of that do you think that the manufacturer is happy at, that the fact that people can't buy it, or how do you think there's a certain amount of manufactured scarcity, if you like, that they're happy that things are reselling for a high amount, or do you think they feel for the person who's trying to buy it queuing up and not getting it?
I think the brands, if I'm going to talk about huge marketing brands such as Nike, they love it. They can easily produce the amount of, for example, the Bread One. People that don't know Air Jordan One, highly sought after colorway as they're called, or colors. Um, they can produce easily the amount that every person, they could put it on the website, and they can make it as a buy on demand, or they can make it as make it your own. So they've got certain trainers that you can choose the colors. You could choose the colors of
Yeah.
the so-called bread, but they want the scarcity. You know,
Yeah.
if you look at history, if you look at, for example, the famous Sports Illustrated, Your Money or Your Life, what did again, I might be ignorant here. What did Nike do about that? They still make trainer drops limited. There's still people that die in America for trainers. They were stabbing in London for their Mega watch. Why have the brands that know that this is a problem not stop it? They like it. I feel that they like it, and unfortunately, as consumers, we fall for it. I mean, why have I gone to London, central London, 4 or 5 times? I don't live in central London, to try and buy this watch. I've fallen for it. I don't. Sounds like Mahfouz. You may have
Yeah.
something to say.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just, I think it's they look at, psychology on people, and it's just part of human nature where you want something that is quite difficult to get. Obviously, if it was openly available, then, the hype wouldn't be there, and they understand that. And obviously for people, they want people to, long for these kind of trainers or these drops or these special edition items, and just make it difficult to get. Just so, when they produce the next product, then people will go after that, and then it will carry on and on and on. And if it's just something that is just openly and available and easy to get, then it will just die down. People will go and move on to the next thing that will be more limited. And it's just, personally myself, obviously, I've tried to go after trainers, I've tried to go after certain cards, I've tried to go after certain items of clothing, and then obviously when the lucky few do end up purchasing it and putting up for profits for their own gain, you kind of get tempted by it. So I think it's, all they know, part of what they have behind them is they have a team of, how should they, promote certain stuff, how should they sell it, and they do look at. I personally think they do look at, how people's minds work, and how they would want a certain product, and how to carry on having that hype.
Nike are a branding company. Sorry, a marketing company, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with you. And, a lot of these companies do spend a lot of money on marketing. and that's just part of their business module, and that's how they spread their word and spread the hype. And it's just through other people that you see talking about these collabs that you like, oh yeah, this looks nice, and I want to get into it as myself.
uh, like we speaking about these items, many of these items already dying, guys, so there is no demand such as used to be, because it's so many of them. They basically, if you like printing it, Nike's doing absolute huge demands of dunks, and we're going back to the times when the dunks was sitting on the shelves, and that actually is happening right now. So basically, if you want some dunks, you can buy them. Luckily, yeah, like you was saying about the breads, luckily I bought them like 30 pounds retail back in 2016. These are the things that there will be always some shoes like AJ1s, highs, retros, which one there will be always colors on demand. But like I'm seeing the markets and everything, soon we will see that you will walk to the shop and you can buy some certain things. Even we can see that nowadays with the cards was back 1 year back, was sore after and everything like that. But where is the reseller don't have a value on the certain things, the things starting dipping, things are not appreciate, and that's why you need the resellers, that's why you need that marketing, it's pushing it. But like I saying, soon we will see that, because there is so many resellers nowadays, that we will see these items just sit, because there will be no literally someone who will appreciate it, because like I'm saying, it's just the print running, they making them a law, they that's why they're doing these collaborations, because
Do you think that's a good thing?
collaborations.
Sorry to interrupt. Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing? Like, so for example, Tops, if they, or Nike or Supreme, if they know that 10,000 people want their item, if they make 10,000 of them, do you think that's a good thing? Or, if you were in that position as a manufacturer, would you make 5,000 and want there to be resale? Or would you make 15,000 and make sure that everybody gets it? And if anybody more wants it, I mean, just to make it interesting, I mean, what would you guys think about that?
uh, you know if they wants to make 10,000, that they know that people will buy it, yes, but put at least the price for the cards, make 10,000 but put price 30, 50 quid, and make some shuffles, put there some good autographs, because nowadays we're seeing so many things is just ridiculous. Like in the Top's Finest 2022, some guy bought the case and there is just 11 the same autos in the case. You didn't see that back in the days, when you can see a Super Trout opening Top's Chrome 2017. You know, that was probably the best Topps Chrome ever been made. But you know like I'm thinking that we coming to those times where who wants it will get it, and I think that we are in that situation. We coming there. I think in 2023 lots of things will gonna change. Lots of things rising. Even the sneakers now. Jordan ones. I remember Jordan ones cost 120 quid. Now they spiked up to 165. Just the normal. So collabs will probably go to up to 200 pounds. The Jordan 4 they're going for 200. It's something which one people will need money for something. So I think that lots of brands will have to consider about the pricing and about that demand and everything else, because like I think,
I mean,
Mustafis, I don't know what you think of us, but
yeah.
I think that's this happening. This is gonna happen because people will realize that is still the same, unless they will make it different. I really want to see how Fanatics will turn out. I see already on Panini that many products went down on release dates. Like lots of them are much cheaper. So I want to see how Panini and Topps will compete, and I want to see what Nike's, because Nike's lots of things sitting on the shelf and is not appreciated. So I think that's the collaborations saving the day most of the times, about that marketing thing, that there is resale value on some certain items.
So you're saying that if the manufacturer makes too much of an item, that can have a negative impact on the market, which is bad for everybody. But then you're also saying that there needs to be some sort of reseller in there that does need to maintain that hype, to maintain that interest. Otherwise, if somebody is just making everything to demand and every single item can be bought, I don't know if it kind of works with the Supreme and Rolex item, because I think a lot of people would want it just because of the fact that it's such a quality item. But like, say for instance, they made 500 million of them. It's probably impossible to do that because it takes a year to make. Then would the price, if the retail price was 30,000, would it stay at 30,000? So
Yeah.
Probably not, but I would be happy to buy them for 1,000 if they would ever cost like that.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, and
Uh,
it needs to be a price which is people can afford it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think personally, I think the reason why I've noticed it as well, that lot of Air Jordan ones, when they used to drop, they used to always sell out, but now when it does drop, a lot of them are sitting on shelves still. I think I personally think, I think that's more to do with the current situation of the world, in terms of the cost of living crisis in the UK, inflation, people are struggling. So I think people are targeting certain types of, like, for example, the Air Jordan ones. I think they're not going for just any Air Jordan 1 highs that are just dropping in it. They're going for certain colorways that they know that people will appreciate. For example, what has recently dropped, the taxis. Is the taxis the one that looks similar to the shattered blackboard? I can't
Yeah,
remember the name.
taxis.
Yeah,
Yeah, taxis.
taxis. Yeah. So the taxis, obviously, they sold out because they had a similar color to the shattered blackboard, which previously dropped, and they have a very high retail. And then one that's so the taxis that came out, they sold out, and there is a bit of a profit on that. And another example was the Visionaires that dropped about a month or two a couple of months ago, but they're still sitting on the shelves because the colorway is not as not as appealing to a lot of people. So I think it's just, this is due to the current situation of the world, in terms of everything's gone expensive, the cost of living crisis in the UK, and I think those are kind of having an effect right now in terms of on the trainers, cards, and everything else within the retail and within the reseller market.
Yeah,
There is sorry to interrupt, Mikhail. I think there is something else to think about. Is I'm not gonna I'm not gonna try to talk too much about trainers here, but I mean, if you look at since 2015 to 2022, so that's 7 years. How many Jordan 1s have come out? How many pairs of Jordan 1, no matter how much of a super fan you are, can you have? I think there's an element of market oversaturation. There's an element of the cost of living. There's an element of availability, because I think most people have accepted that if you can't get the colorway you want, you will get a colorway, and then you just satisfy yourself. And once you've worn one, I mean, I've been in this position myself. Then you think to yourself, well, can I really be bothered to spend 200? Not bothered. Do I really need to spend £200 on the taxi colorway or the bread colorway or whatever? I mean, I'm a big fan, and part of me still thinks I would like the bread ones, but actually, I've got a pair of, thank you, Mikhail and my sister. I've got a pair of the Spider-Man ones, and I'm thinking, well, that's enough for me, really. So there's an element of that, and just going back to what Mikhail was talking about, supply and demand. Um, this is kind of rumors, and I'm happy to be corrected by anyone. But Rolex make 2 million watches a year. So how limited are Rolex watches? They're not that limited, but they control who they sell to. That's number one. And the second rumor that's coming out is Rolex are going to really reduce their production numbers. And this move with the Supreme Rolex collaboration suits both companies. It suits Supreme because if you look at Supreme now, there's a lot of items that have actually gone on sale. And since I've been into Supreme since 2015, I've not really seen many items go on sale. So Supreme are having to adjust their prices. Rolex are going to try and increase their demand. I think the brands are smarter than us in the sense that they're watching, they have people analyzing human behavior, consumer habits, and Rolex are thinking, well, we produce 2 million watches a year. What we need to do is create more hype, create an issue with supply and demand. So what we'll do is we will reduce production numbers. And they can use reasons, they can use cost of living crisis, they can use the fact that their sales may have gone down a little. I don't think they have. You can massage and manipulate numbers to your benefits. So that in terms of products being sought after, this is what I think is going to happen. So whereas I agree with you, Mikkel, some items will become easier to obtain. I feel the really, really sought after items, such as a Rolex GMT2 or a Daytona, I still don't see anytime soon where you're going to walk into a dealership and say, I'd like to buy off the shelf. I really don't see it happening.
I'm not talking about the Rolex that you will come and buy off the shelves, because you have to think about they're making 2 million a year, but look how many multimillionaires out there. You understand? You have to understand that on the world is probably like 5 billion people, and like 30% of that are multimillionaires who can afford it. If you're talking about the sneakers cards, that there is average people who can buy sneaker for 160, and you know what I'm saying, and they still keep coming up and coming up and coming up. But not talking about the Rolex. Obviously, Rolex, it will be always like this because it's strategically well done by Rolex, and there is lots of rich people. All right, guys, I would like to move us on the another topic, which one we would like to speak about, and that is Liverpool team set from tops. What do you guys think? I think it's decent. I think it's better than Paris Saint-Germain set, because there was guarantee auto per box. The retail was £50. I think lots of Premier League fans appreciate that price. That they can get their stars when they was children. When they was a children. So I think Top's done well with the Liverpool set. I think the Liverpool players wasn't that expensive for the signatures. Also, there is lots of legends, which one they was probably happy to make some money on the autos, so they happily signed them. I just would appreciate, that Stops will do better job with that will not be just the paper. I think that they should move to that Chrome standard for such a team sets on demand as well, because people will more appreciate the card. As I saying this, I think the team sets deserve to be well better made than just paper. So yeah, what do you guys think about this? I think
I'm not sure if we can make a weekly section of this. Flip, skip, rip. Mikel, PSG set, Liverpool set. I think I know the answer. And the Sideman set. You can flip one, rip one, skip one.
skipping them all, mate. You know what I'm gonna say. Skipping them all, not for me. For me, those are heavily just marketing, very, very marketing products.
But they
I'm
sold out
I'm not
very. I
fan.
mean, the Liverpool set sold out very.
I understand, but
Okay,
I'm
that's
not the person who what sellout I need to have or I need to do. I had many products which when I bought from Tops, I ripped them and I didn't have just that excitement. Mafus could talk to you about it as well. So for me, skip for sure. Mafus,
Skip them
Um,
too. Muffles,
I'd
I'm going to be a
personally,
bit. Flip. You have to choose one. Flip one,
yeah,
skip
yeah.
one, rip one.
If it was the £80 Sideman one, then I'd probably flip that. would skip the Liverpool one for personal reasons. I don't really want to get into. And yeah, I'll rip the Paris one just for the 1 in a million chances of getting one of the three top strikers in Paris.
Fair play. And for you?
For me, I have to rip the Liverpool set. We all know why. For the exact opposite reasons of Mahfouz, and myself and Mahfouz will be stuck in a very heated duel tomorrow. So
relegation battle.
Good luck to Liverpool for that, and commiserations to Man. Okay, anyway, so ripping the Liverpool set. I'm going to. Okay, I'm biased here, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna skip the PSG and I'm gonna flip the Sidemen, because Sidemen are hype machines. And I just found out one of the Sidemen has 10 million YouTube subscribers, and there's, I think, 6 people in the world with 10 million YouTube subscribers. So come on, you got to do the maths and you got to flip the Sidemen. Sidemen are flip all day long.
What do you mean? You mean the Sideman 80 pounds one, or you mean Sideman 25 pounds one?
Oh no, we haven't specified that.
Yeah,
we haven't specified
that. You have to specify, because one is heavily brick and other you don't know.
Yeah, so I think, for being fair, all of those were tops, kind of like on demand. They're all on paper. They're all between 25 to 50 pounds. So we're gonna say the 25 pound man's 25 pound Sideman one.
I'm gonna stick to my guns. I'm gonna flip the Sidemen and I'm skipping PSG. That's my answers locked in.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I hate to be boring, but maybe for slightly different reasons. I'm not a Liverpool fan, but I think the chance of a one in one auto, even with my luck ripping, I would take that. So I'll be ripping the Liverpool set. I would be skipping the PSG set on the basis that, as Mafta said, a 1,000,000 chance of hitting a top 3 auto, and I would be flipping the Sideman exactly the same as my brother, because of the fact that I think that they are very good at marketing. They're very good at social media. If you like, as we've spoken about before, they're masters of creating hype. So flip on the hype, and yep, that's my answer.
Yeah, guys, I think that you're flipping kinda brick set. I would say flip would be the Liverpool set, but that is your opinion. But I understand on the Mustafis and Wes, why did they skip Paris, because they have currently in group by touch on the Paris Saint-Germain Chrome set, so they don't need to fight with the paper, because there is already guarantee the autographs. And Mahfouz, you would open it. I understand you are as well in the group buy, but you would open it if you can have it just for you. I understand that.
Yeah, no, I don't want the full set. And obviously, I did say I'll flip the Sidemen, because they are, hype guys, always on social media interactions. There was supposed to be a KSI fight, which I'm not sure if it's still happening or not. But yeah, they are. Everyone wants to be like them. Everyone wants to follow them, and I think it'd just be a smart thing just to flip.
Can we do this live on the podcast next week? Can we look at eBay? I'm happy for you guys to disagree with me. Can we look at eBay completed sales and see which of us were right and which of us were wrong? Can we do that? What do you guys think?
Yeah, of course we could.
We can do, but there's a 2 weeks window though, isn't it?
There is 2 weeks window. Is unlimited. You can go and buy 10,000 of each.
Let's
but
do
the
it.
the £80 one.
It's basically it will be probably under retail, the Sideman £25 one.
Yeah. Let's do it in a month's time and see.
Yeah, we can do that. We can definitely do that. Of course, I skip it all. You know why? So yeah,
and we can see how I mean, not that we're giving anyone advice. You shouldn't listen to what we say. This is just us having fun. But let's see how our opinions, how much they're rooted in reality. Maybe I'm completely off. Maybe I'm completely right. Or maybe, as in most cases, the answer is somewhere in between. Shall we do that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. I think that's it. I mean, there was something that came to mind, but I've forgotten. So probably we've reached the time for the end of the podcast. So I just want to thank Mikhail for hosting as always. Thank you for the IT support that's going on behind the scenes. I will try and make the audio as good as possible. We know that there are some room for improvement, so that is a work in progress. And for everybody that still is here and is listening, thank you guys all so much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank
Thanks a
you
lot.
so
Thanks
much.
everyone.
We know, Wes, that's busy times and all these things, but we will, guys, thank you very much for listening. We are really appreciate it. We will try to do this, like we're saying, every single week. We will obviously improve in the time. Just give us a time, and we are really appreciate you. Stay with us. Peace. Thank you for listening. See you next one.